Hello, good morning and welcome to another live and exclusive to Spectrum Television. From where we have the Mobadala City Open, where it is scheduled to, of course, gather some superstars, especially in the WTA category, but would have the return of some top names that have been missing the competition for some time. We take a look at what's happening at the world of tennis. Some superstars are also withdrawing from the ATP scene. We'll also look at the world of football, where the WAFCON is currently up and running. At the semi-final stage, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be in action later today, facing the defending champions of the WAFCON. Talk about the Bayana of South Africa. We'll also look at another semi-final clash. Ghana will also be in action today. We'll take a look at what's happening at the European scene, where transfer stories are apparently dominating the scene. We'll also look at which players are leaving left, right, and center. This will form the crux of our conversations with you this morning. But before we take you through all of these stories extensively, let's first of all bring you up to speed with some big development making rounds in the world of sports. Welcome once again.
Get ready for the exciting showdown, the biggest names, the toughest competition, and the most thrilling moments. From the gridiron to hardwood and from the pitch to the track. Join us for Sports Central, the most electrifying sports program on television, every weekday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Spectrum Television. Sports Central, your home for sports.
Broadening your horizon is what every living being not only genuinely desires, but heartily pursues and intentionally invests in. For in the gathering of men, only those whose minds are in tune with the dynamics of the past, present, and future innovations, inventions, politics, and governance are respected. We are Spectrum Television, and broadening your horizon is our obsession. Risk on your decoder now to connect Spectrum Television on the frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250. That is frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250. Polarization horizontal, and join our online community at spectrumtvlive.ng. For further enquiries, please call 0704 158 5642 or 0704 541 7707. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
I will begin the conversation from the world of tennis, competing at the tournaments for the first time in more than a year, and in doubles for the first time in nearly 3. Venus Williams hit a big serve on her initial delivery at the DC Open just yesterday, and curiously, it was wiped out because of a foot fault call. Williams, who has 21 Grand Slam titles across singles and doubles, smiled incredulously, as did the other 3 players on the court who were playing in front of the full crowd that eventually displaying a trademark power on some strokes, while teaming with Haley Baptist for a 6-3, 6-1 victory against 2014 Wimbledon runner-up Eugene Borchardt and Cleve Ngonu. Well, away from that, where he captured his maiden tour level title in 2006. Novak Djokovic retired at 6'6" due to breathing issues. Fast forward to 2025, the 40-year-old Wawrinka kickstarted his 6th appearance. Sports free agent point guard talk about Chris Paul has agreed to a deal with the LA Clippers for his expected final 21st NBA season. Paul, who is 40, had multiple suitors such as the Milwaukee Bucks, the Charlotte Hornets, and Dallas Mavericks. But the 12-time All-Star chose the contending Clippers and their shared history in Los Angeles. Paul told, of course, interviewers in June that he was determined to play his 21st season first with the Clippers, also the most in their history. Finally, Super Falcons coach Justin Madugu and his South African counterpart Desire Ellis are fired up ahead of their Women's Africa Cup of Nations semi-final showdown at the Stade Labi Zuli in Casablanca today. The highly anticipated clash pits 9-time champions Nigeria of their previous 11 WAFCON encounters against South Africa and outscoring Banyana 16-5. However, the reigning champions are no longer the underdogs they once were, having memorably beaten Nigeria in the group stage of the 2022 edition before lifting their first WAFCON title. Still talking sports, Manchester United have announced the signing of forward Mbeumo from Brentford for a transfer fee worth in excess of €70 million. The 25-year-old joins on a long-term deal and becomes United. But that's all we have for you at this time. We'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll have an extensive conversation on all of these issues and much more in the world of sports.
Get ready for the exciting show, the toughest competition and the most thrilling moments. From the gridiron to hardwood and from the pitch to the track. Join us for Sports Central, the most electrifying sports. Join us for Sports Central, the most electrifying sports program on television every weekday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon on
fresh and come back a little bit stronger and better. And I can tell you, for the very fact that I was aware, I was actually following what was actually happening right here, and even the exciting stories that scattered around the world of sports are quite good to retain.
Quite good to return, but before the show, he spoke to me in confidence and said, look, I'm rusty. Well, let's see how rusty he is in this one, definitely. But I'm quite happy you're back, but I was thinking it might be she took a break during the after the Roland Garros when she lost and said, come on, I'm retiring from tennis. I know yours weren't retiring. And boom, the next thing we had, wedding bells. I hope it's not like yours.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, he says. Let's get to the thick of the conversation now, beginning with the DC Open. It would be Venus Williams showing class and dominance, men would say. Last time out she featured in a tournament like this, I think the most recent was in Miami, in which she lost at the opener of it. But Venus Williams wins a double in this one. Well, tying up with fellow American, talking about American Harley Baptist and beating Eugenia Bouchard and Clever Ngono, a 6-3. 6-1. Well, to be David, how interesting and fascinating seeing the 45-year-old return to court at the age of 45. Well, not at the singles, many people not anticipating big hongs for her when it has to do the singles, but at a double, a first win, that opener, that big hit.
Well, I think it's quite good for Venus Williams at the moment. Just before the show, I was actually having a conversation with Fun where we talked about the fact that at some point she just retires, and then look at it that all the top young talents are doing better. And just decides she comes to tennis. Because already we know Venus Williams, so of course, have retired. Last time we saw her in competitive action was, I think, last year, sometime in August or thereabouts. But quite good for her to return now in the doubles, just like Matt mentioned. A good win. She will be in action in the singles later today.
Yeah.
But many are still looking forward to whether or not we can actually see Venus Williams compete at top. Maybe in the game against, her opponent later to the fellow, American later today. I won't actually, put much valuation on Venus Williams at the level of, a quality she's got at the moment. Until she face a typical top 20 opponent, that's when we'll definitely see Venus Williams. But good, I like the confidence that whenever she, of course, comes to do better and even compete at top level with all the top 10 players at the moment. So I think it's good for her to return at the age of over 40. At the age of over 40, there have been question marks as regards her level of progress at this particular level of competition. But for the very fact that she's gathered that strength to return after a lengthy timeout shows her level of readiness for the tournament, and I'm expecting
Williams, well, one of the biggest expectations in the world of tennis would be about her marriage that would be coming up soon. Well, most times it's just an interesting part in the world of tennis when these players dedicate the bulk of their life playing court and celebrating and winning and losing and fans cheering up. Well, now